Hello and welcome to my workshop. So it's time to start a new project, and that's going to be a 1949 GMC truck. So I've gone ahead and got the scale right. It's going to be 1/9 scale. I've got some pictures. I've drawn some things up. So it's time to start getting this thing put together. Alright, so let's get started. So we have the probably easiest part of the entire truck build complete, and that's the rectangle in the back, the bed, the thing that actually has square sides on it. The rest of the build, including the fenders for this, is going to be all rounded parts with probably not a square or straight side on it anywhere. But anyway, we've had these little ribs here, support. Still some more detail we have to add, probably a little more carving on these, but those are in. The side rails, we're going to be putting in some wood slats here in the bed. I'm waiting on some styrene pieces that'll go in between those. We have the tailgates pretty well done. Again, some pieces on the side I'm waiting to come in. And we're also going to cut the Chevrolet letters across the back here. I've started drawing in where the fender will go, and I started gluing together some MDF pieces to get the shape that I'll use to carve down. Now, these are obviously a lot bigger than what I need, but what I'll end up doing is taking a paper pattern and then cutting out in rough shape around the paper pattern what the material I don't need, and then probably coming down and trimming off as much as I can on the saw, and then the rest I'll sand down and make the two vacuum forms to do the fenders. So that's what we're going to work on next. So let's get started. I've added in the Chevrolet letters across the back, and I used the Cricut machine to cut out 15 thousandths thick styrene, and then use the, I guess, negative part here where the letters came out of to draw the where the letters would go, and then come back and just glue those on to the this little raised section, which represents what the tailgate would look like on the real one. I've also finished both fenders, and these are styrene, and they're vacuum formed. 60 thousandths thick material. So once I'm able to get these out of the vacuum mold, I cut them down to size, sanded the edges, and then just glue them onto this the bed, the main part of the bed, and I think they turned out pretty good. So we're making some good progress on this, and I think it's now time to focus on the cab. Still some work to do in the bed, but everything I need to do in the bed, I'm waiting on material, so I'm just going to go forward. I think what I'm going to do is start with the back, and then build the inner structure off of that back molded piece, and then start to put in the molded pieces as I go forward. That's the idea. We'll see how well it works. Let's get started. Alright, so I think I got to a pretty good stopping point here. Started off with building the cab with the back piece and vacuum molded that. Came inside and put these straight pieces, a little bit of a bend right here, down to the front, plenty long and lots of material to work with. And then just started working with, getting the doors on both sides. And I've got these inner fender piece done, and which is where I'm going to attach the outer rounded fender to this. I'll have to still build in the front and shape this up a little bit. You'll see where the line is, where I'll cut these points off and start building that out. But I think, all in all, it's coming together really nicely. I'm going to work on getting the fenders done and the hood, and then I'll go back and tackle getting the roof on. And at that point, it's just getting the bed put up with the cab, getting the steps put on the side, and a couple little pieces here and there, and it's really getting there. So I still got a lot more to do on this build. Looking forward to getting on with this. There's a lot of other things I'm working on, but until then, we'll see you in the rocks.